Yeezys on Yeezys on Yeezys, and the Air Jordan 35. What's up, everybody? I'm Seth Fowler, and this is Weekly Heat. Starting things off, we've got a closer look at the Air Jordan 1 J Balvin, which I like to call the Air Jordan 1 migraine because that's exactly what it looks like when I'm starting to get a migraine. Apparently, J Balvin is the very first Latino artist to collaborate on the Air Jordan 1, and I've got to say, he went all in on this collaboration. The shoe features an incredibly bright, almost heat map style pattern that sort of radiates from a red in the center all the way out to a blue on the edges. But the most defining detail of the shoe are the serrated or jagged edges around the different panels of the sneaker. As of right now, I don't know J Balvin's inspiration behind the shoe or the reason for the serrated edges, but I'm sure as we get closer to the release date, more information will come out. Another detail revealed in these images is the packaging. It looks like the actual Nike logo on the outside of the box remains the same, however the color is the same exact color gradient that you see on the shoe itself. Another interesting detail are the interchangeable patches that you can use on the heel of the sneaker that either have J Balvin's logo or the Jumpman logo. J Balvin's Air Jordan 1 is definitely a wild collaboration, and if you're into this look, you don't have much longer to wait because they should be releasing sometime in the holiday period of 2020. I would have to assume though that because this shoe is a collaboration Air Jordan 1, this shoe will probably be very limited, very difficult to get, and will probably resell for a lot of money. After that, we move on to the first of the deluge of Yeezy news that we've got today with the new release information for the Yeezy 380 Pepper. Like most other recent Yeezy releases, this shoe is coming in both a standard variant and a reflective variant. This 380, at least in my opinion, comes in a surprisingly clean white and cream primed upper with a mustard yellow stripe along the side of the shoe. The midsole of the shoe comes in a very pepper-inspired dark gray with an outsole that comes in what seems to be a light gum color. The reflective version of the shoe, which features 3M accents throughout the prime knit, releases on September 18th for a retail price of $250, whereas the standard version of the shoe releases a day later on September 19th for only $230. I've actually ordered a pair of the Pepper 380s from GOAT, and they should be coming in the next couple days, so if you guys want to stay tuned for that review, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below if you haven't yet. But in my own personal opinion, I think this is the cleanest 380 to drop since the original colorway. After that, we've got some release information and some detailed images of the upcoming Adidas YEEZY 350 V2 Abez. According to Google, Abez is a Hebrew word that means tin or white, which is very fitting because the shoe itself comes in sort of a cream white color. The prime knit upper of the shoe comes in sort of a static patterned mix of the color we just talked about, which was the cream white, and sort of a light tan color. The midsole and outsole of the shoe come in sort of an aged or yellowed gum color, which is decent and it pairs relatively well with the shoe itself. And from these images, it also looks like there will be a reflective variant of the shoe releasing alongside the standard release. Oh, and one other thing, it looks like this shoe also comes with that sort of infinity lacing system, which doesn't have ends, so you can't really tie it, but it definitely makes the shoe look cleaner on feet. If you're trying to grab a pair of the Yeezy 350 V2 Abez, they should be releasing sometime next month, however the exact date is not yet known. Next up, we've got some images of the upcoming Adidas YEEZY 700 V3 Aramil. Although at a glance this 700 V3 looks a lot like the release colorway of the 700 V3, there are a few changes that actually make it, in my opinion, a better looking shoe. The Aramil 700 V3 features dark brown accents throughout the mesh upper, which I think really adds some nice contrast to the shoe, and then the RPU cage, which covers up the upper and usually comes in a solid color, this time around is coming in sort of a fade from dark brown to sort of a light tan. I really feel like that gives the shoe a lot more dimensionality and it makes the shoe look more interesting. I don't know if this new RPU cage glows in the dark like the previous 700 V3s, but I would be fine either way. Other than that, the construction of the shoe seems to remain exactly the same, at least from what I can see from these images, and if you want to grab a pair of these for yourself, they should release sometime in December of this year. Keep in mind though that the Yeezy 700 V3 is an incredibly popular silhouette, and this shoe will not be the easiest Yeezy to grab by a long shot. Sticking with the upcoming Yeezy 700 news, it looks like we've got an entirely cream Yeezy 700 V2 releasing next year. I don't know if you've ever heard of Henderscheme, but they're a really cool footwear company that basically remakes classic sneakers in premium quality leathers, and they always seem to make their shoes out of veggie tanned leather, which always starts out looking like a very light pink or light tan color, just like the 700 V2. And while this shoe isn't going to age like a veggie tan sneaker, which turns sort of a dark brown the more that you wear it, this shoe does look a lot like a Henderscheme version of a 700 V2. I don't mind the way that this shoe looks, but it seems like it would match my skin tone almost exactly, which means that whenever I look down at my shoes, I would think that I'm in bare feet, or at least I think that I would think that I'm in bare feet. Does that make sense? I don't know if I could rock it personally, and if you want to grab a pair of these for yourself, they should be releasing in March 2021. And actually, come to think of it, this is the first 700 V2 that we've had in a really long time, and I'm actually kind of surprised that they're going with this colorway as the first 700 V2 drop in a while. I wish they had done like a Wave Runner V2. I feel like that would be really cool, but it's probably never gonna happen. Next up, we've got a teaser from LEGO and Adidas on their brand new ZX 8000 collaboration. As of right now, there are no full images of this collaboration yet, or at least that I could find, but in this teaser, you sort of see the back of the shoe, and it seems like a standard ZX 8000 just in bright LEGO colors. While I'm a huge LEGO fan, a LEGO colored shoe is not enough for me to run out and buy the sneaker. I feel like this shoe has to have some, like, I don't know what they're called, like the nubs that you can plug your Legos onto and then build off of it. I feel like that would be a sick LEGO collaboration. It would be crazy, but it'd be a lot cooler than just a blue, red, and white LEGO colored Adidas. However, like I said, this is still just a teaser. It's possible that there's some more really cool information about this shoe that we just don't know yet. Maybe the box is made of Lego, or maybe it comes with a special Lego version of the shoe. I have no idea, but it's fun to speculate. But with all that said, if you would like to grab a pair of the LEGO Adidas ZX 8000s, they should be releasing on September 25th. Next, we've got some information revealing that an Air Jordan 11 Low Legend Blue is releasing sometime next year. The last time we saw the Legend Blue colorway on an Air Jordan 11 was back in 2014. And of course, back in 2014, releases were very different and, in my opinion, much harder to grab than they are now, which is hard to believe, especially when everyone's dealing with the sneakers app. I actually have a very vivid memory of trying to grab this pair on the subway on the way to work on my phone, which obviously wasn't going to work out, especially on crappy old Nike.com. But it looks like in spring 2021, we're getting another chance at this colorway, this time in the low top variant. The shoe features a primarily white upper accented by patent leather, a black sock liner, and of course an icy outsole. And as far as Jordan 11s go, this is definitely one of the cleaner colorways, although it's not one of my favorite colorways. Even though this shoe is a while down the road, it looks like some of the release information for this sneaker has leaked, and that's the $185 price point and the April 24th, 2021 release date. Next up, it looks like we're getting a special Fragment collaboration on a sneaker which hasn't even been released yet, and that's the Fragment Air Jordan 35s. Even though we've gotten a bunch of different Air Jordan 35 leaks, the Air Jordan 35 hasn't even been officially revealed by Jordan Brand. So I guess it's possible that all these images that we've been seeing aren't of the Air Jordan 35, but I mean, come on, it's the Air Jordan 35. We've seen like 7 different colorways. And in my opinion, the cleanest of those colorways is the Air Jordan 35 Fragment, which sort of mimics the color blocking of the Air Jordan 1 Fragment from a couple years ago. The shoe comes in seemingly premium black leather detailing with a blue leather accent around the heel, as well as your standard, I guess, Air Jordan 35 knit along the sides of the shoe. It's honestly a really clean colorway, and I know people don't love the newer Air Jordan silhouettes when it comes to lifestyle wear, but I feel like this shoe is one of those sneakers that you could wear both on and off the court. Some other Fragment details that you can find throughout the sneaker are the Fragment logo on the tab on the heel of the shoe, and also the Fragment text along the Air flight plate. At least I think that's what it's called. Actually, now that I'm looking at it more, the shoe kind of reminds me of the Shaqnosis, and I don't think that's a bad thing, actually. If you're trying to grab a pair of the Air Jordan 35 Fragments for yourself, they should be releasing around October 28th, although that release date is not yet confirmed. Speaking of new Jordan models, it's been revealed that Zion Williamson's first signature with Jordan Brand will be released sometime in 2021 and will be called the Z Code. The Z Code Jordan, or the Jordan Z Code, or whatever they call it, should be releasing sometime in the first half of 2021, so you shouldn't have too long to wait before you actually get a chance to see this sneaker. I'm still really surprised that Zion signed with Jordan Brand and not with Nike. I feel like there's more opportunity for growth under Nike's basketball umbrella than with Jordan Brands, because you're always under the Jordan umbrella when you sign with Jordan Brand. But it is what it is. It was his decision to make, and he probably made a huge amount of money with Jordan Brand. An insane amount of money. So, you know, I understand him going with Jordan Brand over Nike for that reason alone. However, if you're a huge Zion Williamson fan and you don't want to wait for the Z codes to drop, he actually has his own colorway of the Air Jordan 35s coming out called the Bayou Boys. I'm actually just excited for the Air Jordan 35 in general. I feel like it's a pretty solid looking sneaker, and as soon as they actually release, I'm going to be grabbing a pair to give you guys a full review. But moving back over to Yeezys, 3 new colorways of the Yeezy foam runners were just leaked. The new colorways or colorway samples that were leaked were a new brown and yellow marbled colorway, a gray and cream marbled colorway, and a straight up mustard colored foam runner colorway, which actually is not a bad look. When it comes to Yeezy foam runners, I'm all in. I think they're an incredible sneaker. I've been wearing my pair literally almost every day. That's not an exaggeration. I just wore it on the beach last weekend, which people were telling me not to do on Twitter, but it's a great beach shoe. Because the Yeezy foam runner only retails for $75, I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm gonna buy every single colorway at retail that I can buy, and I will rock every single colorway because I think it's just such a great future-facing shoe. I know a lot of you guys don't understand my love for this sneaker, but if you try tried it on, and if you wore it and you just experienced what it feels like to be in a Yeezy foam runner, you'd be all about it too. It's a dope sneaker. Out of these 3 colorways, if I had to pick a favorite, I would probably go for the gray and cream colorway just because I feel like that's the most wearable, but like I said, any colorway is fine for me. As of right now, there is no release information on any of these colorways, but expect some new colorways of the Yeezy foam runners to drop soon. Next up, we've got some new release information on the Yeezy 451, which is now called the Yeezy 450. We've been seeing images of the Yeezy 450 for years at this point, and it seems like the shoe has changed from more of a Yeezy 700 silhouette to more of a Yeezy foam runner with like a knit upper on it. As you probably could have guessed, I'm fine with that change. I think that anything Yeezy foam runner is awesome, so I'm all in for this shoe as well. And if you've been anticipating the Yeezy 450, it looks like your wait shouldn't have to be too much longer because the shoe is slated to release in February 2021. Not only that, but the price of the Yeezy 450 is set at a relatively reasonable $180. And then rounding off the main news stories for today, it looks like we're getting a brand new Yeezy silhouette in the form of the Yeezy 450 slides. These Yeezy 450 slides look like a mix between the 450 and the foam runner, and it also looks like these shoes are made up of the same foam from the foam runner. It's obvious, but I might as well say it, these shoes have a very skeletal look to them, and I'm kinda into it. Like the foam runners and the standard 450s, I would assume that these shoes are gonna be very polarizing. People will either love them or hate them, but I'm on the side of loving them. I feel like any foam thing that Yeezy does right now is just fire. They're just so comfortable and they look so wild, they look so futuristic, they're made out of algae, they're just such an interesting, different take on footwear, and I just love them. The first colorway of the Yeezy 450 slides to drop is called the Ofani colorway and is currently set to release on December 27th for a very reasonable price of just $65. As with most crazy new silhouettes, I will definitely be trying to grab a pair for myself to give you guys a full review, and if you can grab a pair, I say go for it. I think even if you're just buying it for resale, I think they're gonna resell for some decent money. But now finishing off today's video with this weekend's notable releases. And to start off those releases on Thursday, September 10th, we've actually got the Nike Dunk Low Community Garden. This Dunk Low has a really cool sort of urban what the looking colorway, which I'm really into. As you can tell by the name, the shoe is inspired by community gardens, and that's why you've got sort of a floral print on the upper, which actually changes from shoe to shoe, so no 2 shoes should be exactly the same. Even though you've got a decent amount of colors on this shoe, the main 3 colors that make up this sneaker are maroon, dark blue, and cream, and I think all of those colors go together so nicely. I would love to grab a pair of these, and I'm definitely going to try and grab a pair of these on the 10th, but at the end of the day, it's a Nike Dunk, it's a very good looking colorway, and I just don't think there's really any chance for me to grab this shoe for retail at least. After that, on the 11th, we've got the Air Jordan 1 Zoom Crater. Although the colorway of this shoe is kind of boring, what makes this sneaker interesting is the makeup of the materials. The upper of the shoe is made up partially of recycled polyester and recycled bottles, which I think is so cool. And the outsole of the shoe actually incorporates some Nike grind, which is ground up old Nike outsoles. So in a way, this is kind of like the Space Hippie Air Jordan 1, except it features a full-length Air Zoom unit, which is pretty cool. Some other notable accents on the shoe are the red stitching around the heel counter and also the exposed foam around the top of the ankle. The retail price of the Air Jordan 1 Crater is slightly higher than a standard pair of Air Jordan 1s at $175, but even though the shoe is not the most exciting Jordan 1, it probably will sell out because of what it's made of. And then rounding off this weekend's notable releases, we've got the Air Jordan 5 Apple Green. Now obviously, this shoe is based on the Oregon 5s, and I think a lot of people will pick up this shoe because of that fact. The sneaker features an apple green suede upper, which looks really nice, as well as some yellow accents on the midsole. And while this shoe doesn't actually feature the Oregon PE branding, this shoe will forever be known as the Oregon 5s, or the GR Oregon 5s. These shoes release on Saturday, September 12th for an annoyingly high retail price of $225. But that pretty much wraps up Weekly Heat for this week. Now I would love to know your thoughts on all of the stories that we talked about in today's video, so let me know in the comment section down below. And as always, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't yet, and I'll see you all in the next one.